welcome back to Kitchen Ambush, where it's one local chef, one local ingredient, and one fantastic local dish. And I got to tell you, I think this one's going to be out of this world.
It is, and it's out of state.
It is out of state. I'm Mark Conway.
I'm Vanessa Lane.
And we are in Farmington, Pennsylvania for this Kitchen Ambush at a out of this world, absolutely spectacular new venue.
It is.
We are at the Nemacolin Resort in Farmington, Pennsylvania, where they house one of only 30 restaurants with a very unique distinction called Lautrec.
Lautrec, oh, amazing.
And I'm talking one of 30 in the world that have this distinction, which is a 5-star Forbes rating with a 5-star AAA 5-diamond rating.
And I hear the executive chef is out of this world.
Her pedigree and background are second to none, as she has worked and traveled all around the world, building a reputation and a skill set for herself that puts together one of the best menus you could ever imagine.
Her and her team.
Yes, she is one of those chefs that is absolutely team focused and wants to make sure that they receive just as much because she, relies on them.
Exactly.
So here at the resort, we are going to meet executive chef Kristin Buttworth.
Oh, it's just such an honor.
And I'll tell you, just outside the door here, you get to see a kind of a teaser of their menu, and you have a chef's tasting menu and a prefix multi-course menu.
I can't wait to get inside.
I can't either. The place is beautiful. We're going to take you behind the scenes. You're going to get an idea of what their day-to-day life is like, and then watch that kitchen ambush dish get made.
Amazing.
We can't wait to get inside, so come with us. All right, welcome back to Kitchen Ambush, where it's one local restaurant, one local chef, well, one surprise ingredient, sometimes, to all to make one fantastic local dish. And so we're at our next restaurant, which is in Pennsylvania, and we're at Nemacolin Resort with a chef like you have not yet seen before.
We haven't.
She has accolades and a pedigree that you are just going to taste in every bite when you eat her food. But more importantly, it's a passion and a whimsical nature that really makes this truly an experience that you will remember, just like you remember the stories this food invokes. So let's go ahead and meet you. I'm Mark Conway.
I'm Vanessa Lane.
And you are?
Kristin Buttworth.
And beside me?
I'm Dakota Bowers.
And this is the team we're going to work with today. So tell us a little bit about where we are right now.
We're at Nemacolin Woodlands Resort. We're the only restaurant found in the Chateau, which is part of the resort in the middle of Farmington, Pennsylvania.
We are, and it's Lautrec.
Yes.
And you recently, I believe it's for the 10th time, just received a dual spectacular honor that only 30 restaurants in the entire world have. What is that?
We just got our Forbes 5-star and AAA 5-diamond award.
Amazing.
And then you just got some really spectacular news yourself.
We did, yes.
And why don't you share that with everybody?
I was just recently nominated for James Beard Best Chef Mid-Atlantic.
Woohoo!
And that was one of those bucket list items you had.
Absolutely.
You're all done. We can go.
I'm done. That's it.
So,
We're done. We're going to walk off.
So tell everybody a little bit about the food here and kind of, if they haven't been here, what they can expect when they come.
Food philosophy, the best ingredients we possibly can find. Work with good people who make good food and allow us to showcase it and give people an experience.
Wow.
And you really are team focused.
Absolutely. This is not a chef-driven restaurant. This is 100% the people behind this line, the people out front. It's not just one person that makes this work. It takes a village.
It does. It takes a village, and we definitely have one here. Our village is here because we could not wait to get an opportunity to try your food. We did last night.
No.
I mean, Vanessa, you could talk to how amazing it was.
It was fantastic. And let me tell you, the dessert, she has one named after her, actually. Please explain to everyone what it is.
Tell everybody about this one.
Well, with a name like Butterworth, it only seems fitting you make fun of yourself. So, Chef Butterworth's pancakes, buttermilk pancakes, pancake cake, bourbon barrel-aged maple syrup, huckleberries, and salted butter ice cream.
And that's something that's big with you, is local sourcing. And tell us a little bit about your take on local farms and local sourcing.
We're here. We're surrounded by farmland. We're surrounded by amazing people who are doing what they do best, which is growing amazing food. And it only seems fitting that you bring them in here and set them up for success. They set us up for success, and we're able to serve some really great food.
And so it really is that full circle experience from the farm to you, to the table, to that family really environment.
A lot of passion.
And that was something we saw a lot of last night. So again, this is Kitchen Ambush. So I'm going to remind everybody watching, we're getting ready to do the big reveal on the mystery, not 1, but 3 ingredients, because she's got help today. So we decided we were going to go all 3. Plus, we took a visit to an amazing local farm that's literally about 16 minutes up the road. And it is a family that runs this farm, from the smallest kid up to mom and dad. They're running the farm, they're raising the animals, and they do it all the right way. So they were kind enough to let us get your mystery ingredients today. So when we start this, make sure that you comment. Send in questions, send in comments. These guys are right here. We're going to ask them, and we want to hear from you while we do the show. So I think it's time for the big reveal.
Let's do it.
Fingers crossed.
What's hysterical, we were making jokes. This is the heaviest this box has ever been. You know, you add 3 ingredients and all of a sudden it weighs a lot more. So, drum roll.
Okay. Fingers.
And here we go. First up from that farm is some of their local maple syrup.
So it's a hot commodity.
And you know, we had talked, it's a hot commodity, and you hadn't even had it yet.
No, I've never had their maple syrup, so this is, to get this off of them, I don't know what you did, but.
Wait, those are trade secrets that I will not be sharing with anyone. Then up we have garlic greens. And I was really excited when they brought these out.
That's
I thought
awesome.
those would be a great addition.
Fantastic.
And then near and dear and close to my heart, I can never get enough of this, duck. And not just part of a duck, a whole duck.
A whole duck.
Nobody ever says I don't do things thoroughly here. So I'm going to give you said whole duck.
Okay.
We'll get the box out of the way, and we're going to start cooking.
And that's my cue to go monitor Facebook. So please, go on Facebook, give me all your comments. I want to tell Chef.
Absolutely. So we're going to let you go ahead and get started. We're going to keep talking while you start.
Great.
And so, you know, you said you met this farm by one day they just walked in.
Yeah, they just walked in, surprised me, and said, we have chickens and eggs. What can you do? Can you help us?
I mean, that's just, you don't get better stories than meeting a farm that literally walks in. It's right up the street. And, you know, we got to meet and talk to them for quite a while and got the whole tour with the family of the farm. And it is astounding to see what they're doing, and they're growing by leaps and bounds.
Absolutely. And every year, there's more. There's
Right.
more. And they do it right. It's not just more for the sake of more.
Right.
It's the sake of challenging and making things better. How can they grow better duck? What about the duck that I not like last year that they can do better this year?
Right.
And that's the cool part, because they're just like the restaurant, evolving.
And they do. The products they were bringing out was a lot of fun. I love that the kids are involved in the process. They're helping do the deliveries now. And you've known some of them before they were even born.
Absolutely. The day Hannah was born, she delivered chickens and eggs that morning. So
I mean, you don't get much more real than that.
It's true.
So you've got duck, maple syrup, and garlic greens. Kind of where does your mind go to?
So, I mean, it's still wintertime. I love pasta, so my brain immediately is going to something with sweet potatoes and pasta. With the garlic,
Yep.
we got garlic from them a while back, so last year, and we fermented it and
wow.
made our own black garlic. So
Nice.
I think that would completely just tie that all together. So
Oh, absolutely.
I'm thinking pasta, duck, salty, crunchy, a little spice, and some garlic, and then of course the maple.
And then of course that starts, you start bringing in those warm flavors like you have in winter, and you do start creating those, those processes where you sit and you look and you go, when I was a kid and this happened, or at this holiday this happened. That's kind of that experience that you really give people here.
Absolutely. We want memories. We want to invoke something that's familiar and comfortable, and I mean that's what food is. It's a familiar
Yep.
and comfortable thing, and everybody should be able to sit and eat and enjoy something that makes them happy.
So talk to us about what you're doing with the duck right now.
So right now I just cleaned off some of the excess fat around the edges. I'm just going to score it a little bit so that the grease can get down into the fat and render it out a little bit, so you don't have a ton of fat on it. So
Right.
you taste just the flavor, not the excess.
And that was something about Footprints Farm, that where all this came from, is that their duck, the fat on their duck is really nicely spread across, and it really cooks up well.
Mm-hmm. No, it's really a very thin cap, and a lot of that has to do with the way that they're raising them, where they're not feeding them an excess of grain, they're feeding them bugs and grass and things ducks are actually supposed to
What
eat.
they're supposed to
So
eat.
that's a really cool thing. So it's a super hot pan, salt and pepper, super simple. Then we'll start rendering the fat down and baste it in its own fat, because
I mean,
it's delicious.
Yeah,
So.
you can't get any better than cooking in duck fat.
And then we'll just finish it off with some herbs and garlic just to give it a little bit of savory. And I think it'll go really well with, I'm thinking, candied jalapenos.
Okay, so now you're hitting on all cylinders for me. We're talking about duck. We're talking about sweet potato, and now you're bringing in jalapenos.
We have to have some spice there.
And you have to have some spice. Because duck and duck fat really kind of almost has its own natural sweetness.
Absolutely, and so you pull things in that are just going to add to those layers.
Yep.
Which is, I think the best way to cook.
Definitely. And anytime that you can candy a jalapeno, I'm just happy.
I mean, why not?
Yeah, I mean, if you can candy it, you should definitely do it.
So I'm thinking for this, maybe add a little jalapeno, maybe a little bit of garlic to the maple real quick.
Nice. I like that.
Kind of make a sauce.
And it was great that we got this top secret maple syrup.
Pretty awesome.
It smells incredible.
Yeah. So I'm just going to put on a little heat and let those jalapenos
just infuse that maple syrup.
Just infuse to that maple. Just get a little bit of that bite, that where you wonder what is that?
Right.
Where'd that come from?
Right. And that's something that really carries through a lot of your food. You have a lot of these pieces and these ingredients and these finishing techniques that give you that. What is that I'm tasting?
Drop these in here. So I have sweet potato agnolotti that we currently have on our tasting menu.
Now tell everybody what that actually is.
Sweet potato agnolotti, like little purses of pasta. So in the inside we roasted sweet potato with a little bit of butter, garlic, onion, kept it savory, didn't go sweet,
right.
So that we could put other things with it that would complement it.
And the sweet potato has enough of its own sweetness.
Absolutely. So just made a nice puree, stuffed it in homemade pasta, which all of our pasta dough comes from straight egg yolks from Footprints Farms.
And so again, we got the jalapenos that are steeping in that fresh maple syrup.
I have some Amish feta from Lancaster County. And then we have the black garlic that we turned into a puree, so we can do something with that on the plate.
Now, not everybody really understands what black garlic is. They'll see it on a menu, but they don't quite grasp what that is. What is a black garlic?
Black garlic is fermented garlic. So basically what we did, we used a dehydrator, wrapped it up in like 10 layers of foil, and popped it in the dehydrator at 130 degrees for a month.
A month.
And then when it came out, it's jet black, and it's not pungent and garlicky. It's just this beautiful, funky, amazing flavor.
So now you pulled your perfect pockets of sweet potato out of the boiling water, and you're putting those in a pan.
In the pan, a little bit of butter, a little bit of ham stock, because why not?
Who doesn't want that? Yeah, exactly. Why wouldn't you do that?
I'm just going to glaze them up, make them look really pretty, and get everything together so we can rest that duck and then cut into it and get it on the plate.
So now the last thing I think is the garlic greens themselves. How are you thinking you're going to go with those garlic greens?
I'm thinking I'm going to slice those guys up and add them fresh to finish to my pretty little pockets of sweet potato.
Perfect.
So,
hey, Vanessa, you coming in?
I'm coming in.
Come on in.
I'm coming in. I'm going to come next to the chef. So I've got a couple people shouting out for you.
Okay.
So I've got Ellen with Footprints.
Of course.
I know Ellen. She's watching. And she says, "Go girl, your farmers love you." And then I've got Courtney Stein online that says, "Go Dakota and Chef," and they're giving you the clapping sound. The clapping sound. Keep shooting those out. We want to give Chef all the love she can.
Awesome.
See you in a minute.
Thank you.
And so you're giving those a really nice fine chop.
Yeah, nice slice so that you still get that fresh garlic flavor, not that cooked down.
Right.
And then right behind you, sharp. Put those in. It'll add that nice little pop of color.
Yep.
And then you'll have that nice garlicky flavor. And that little bit of heat should really, that should be what you smell when you go to plate it up.
And it smells incredible.
Got a lot of good smells going on.
It is.
So we have our duck. We're going to let that rest.
That is a pretty duck.
And everything we have going on here.
For you at home, this is my suffrage that I have to do is I taste all this food for you. And it's just awful when it's duck. Oh, and Vanessa too. Vanessa has joined this effort we have of tasting food for you. And so you just kind of painted that right across.
Just painted that right across. So a lot of what we do here is we don't want the guests to have to think too much.
Right.
So they sit down. They don't have to think about, should I eat the cheese with the duck, with the jalapeno? Should I, so just make sure that every single bite they get something. So putting that on the bottom of the plate, it should coat every single bite that the guests get.
Instead of them having to like cut things and move
Scoop
things around,
and
it's just
move
as
and
they
dip.
cut, natural transition with the plate.
Exactly.
And it's art too, because we all eat with our eyes first.
Oh, absolutely. So you can really smell that garlic.
You
Sounds
really
awesome.
can. I mean, and it's just so nice. Hi to all the kids at Footprints. Thank you so much for taking us around.
Hi, Isaac, Hannah, and Elsie.
You know, that's it. Just watching the technique. You use just as much technique in plating as you do with cooking the food.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's no point in putting all the time and effort into something to just, you know, put it in boiling water and beat it up, or
Throw it
put
on
it in a
bowl and
pan.
go, "Here you go."
Yeah,
Whoop-a.
I mean, it's really about, you know, taking that time and.
Come on back in, Vanessa.
So while she's playing, we've got more. I mean, people love you. And we've got Luis Solorio.
Oh, I pay him. He has to like.
He says, "Kill it, Chef in Dakota." And Javier Fuentes
Oh, well, there's another one.
says, "Chef Butterworth in Pennsylvania is a legend." Big fact.
And that's saying something. You know, when we talked a lot about family. We'll continue to talk about family and local sourcing. But when you have a crew that works together, you spend more time with that crew than you do with pretty much anybody else in your life. And there's so many times there's a lot of tension and friction, and you're going to have some of that with family. But to have a crew you can work together that supports each other, I mean, that is really difficult to find. And you have a good mix of that here. These are those things that you don't necessarily see, but they make a difference in the food that comes out.
Oh, for sure.
Absolutely. You know, if you in an environment that you thrive in, it's only natural that you're going to perform well.
You're going to be even better.
So
Now here's that moment of truth. When
Here's
that
that
duck
moment.
gets cut into.
it's a little.
Wow. It's just pretty.
It's pretty. That's pretty duck.
I mean, and that's what's being raised right here around the corner. You know, they're putting the love into raising the duck, and then you're putting that love into the dish to where, you know, these people that get to come and get to eat this food, it's phenomenal.
Absolutely. We're going to give it a quick flash
Flash
it up
into the
so
salamander.
that we've rested it to get it nice and warm again.
And to kind of give everybody a quick look here, I mean, to see a plate like that, I
And
love the bro
The
stroke
best
on
part's
it.
not even on there.
I know. It's just, you see this and I can sit down and be like, yeah, I can't wait to eat this.
All right.
So I'm going to move this,
The best
put
part.
this down for you. Oh, look at that.
And then
And then here comes that maple syrup.
smells awesome.
I knew you wouldn't be far, Vanessa.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not far. So I'm gonna move this real quick. Get on this side.
Look
This side
at
of
that.
Chef. Woo!
I mean, I'm looking at it. It's just, I feel like that's something you hang on a wall. But except for the fact that it's duck and it has jalapeno and sweet potato and it has every flavor I could possibly love in this world, it's not going to hang on a wall. It's going to get eaten. So I want us all to dive in together. All right, everybody ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's dive in.
All right, Chef, after you.
Yeah, let's just jump. All right, I'm in.
He's
everybody
in.
get in there.
All
All
right.
right. I'm gonna cut on
I mean,
in, Chef.
This
A
bite
little bit of
alone.
something.
Mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. 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 Mm-hmm.
No talking to your tongue.
Mm-hmm. Spectacular.
Thank you.
I mean, the pure fact that you're getting multiple flavors, they're not muddled. You can taste the maple syrup. You can taste the jalapeno. You can taste the crispiness of the duck skin. And then that smooth, velvety texture from inside that pillow.
Yeah, that almost doesn't put your mouth. That's
It
awesome.
really does. And it just kind of gives you a little bit of everything.
And you know what I love is that the jalapeno is a nice surprise. Most people are scared of jalapeno. It's going to be really hot. That has just got a little bit of something, little tickle in the back of the throat, just to kind of finish it all off.
We don't want to ruin anybody's palate. We want them to be able to enjoy
That
it.
is the worst. You take that first bite, you're
You know,
gone.
it's not a chicken wing. But no, it's just that little bit of heat I think is nice.
So I'm going to go ahead and throw it down and say, absolutely successful ambush.
Oh, shit.
Completely.
You guys, and thank you again, Footprints Farm. You really put together a dish that showcased the work that they do, the love that they have, and yours.
Awesome.
You guys killed it. Come up here to Nemacolin, stay, enjoy, make sure you eat multiple times, because I promise you, when you look at this menu, from the being adventurous to playing it a little safe, you're going to want to come back and eat multiple times before you leave.
Over and over and again.
So don't rush your trip. Relax here, have a good time. Find them on Facebook, check them out online, and come visit these guys and root her on as she goes for that James Beard Award. And
And come see her. And come see her in the kitchen.
and come see her in the kitchen.
Come
She
see her in
loves
the kitchen.
hugs.
Big hugs. Big hugs.
So if you come, have a hug of her food and then give her a hug for it. Find us on YouTube at youtube.com/kitchenambush. And of course on Facebook, Instagram, all the rest. Smoke signals are always welcome. But I can't tell you, I will be eating more of this stock when we go off. And I'm Mark Conway.
I'm Vanessa Lane.
And you?
Kristin Buttworth.
Dakota Bowers.
We're signing off, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.
See you later.